Well, it's been 8 years since the initial launch of the Nintendo Switch, and after 150.86 million units worldwide sold, over 1.3 billion copies of games sold, and one router to power the entire Nintendo Online service,
Kill me later.
we finally got the announcement that the Switch 2 is real and it will be launching on June 5th, 2025. Today, I want to cover what was announced in that Direct, what wasn't announced in that Direct, and I want to give my final thoughts and feelings on the Switch 2. There will be time codes at the bottom to jump to sections that you're interested in, but without further ado, let's jump into the actual console itself, the Switch 2. So to begin with, I'm going to list off the Nintendo Switch 2 technical details and the new upgrades that are now featured in this console. First off, it has a bigger screen than the original Switch at 7.9 inches with a 1080p LCD screen with HDR support that can support up to 120 frames per second. The new Joy-Con 2 are now held in place with magnets.
Yeah, bitch! Magnets! Oh!
That clip together and are released with the console by clicking a button on the back of the controller. There is now a bigger SL and SR buttons on the actual Joy-Cons, which thank God, as certain games where you had to play with one Joy-Con would suck because of those tiny buttons. The Joy-Con also features a large control stick and now can turn into a standard mouse similar to the ones that use a computer. So PC gamers, rise up. In terms of sound, it has improved speakers to offer a crisper audio experience, a built-in mic with noise cancellation. How well that will work from how it was shown off is very much still up for debate, but I'm welcome to be proven wrong. And plus, a new headphone jack with options to use 3D surround sound headphones. For power, it has two USB-C connections, one on top and one on the bottom. You can easily charge during standby mode or put in a USB camera. And speaking of standing mode, there is a new stronger stand on the back that easily flips out. It features 256 gigabytes of internal storage, which can be upgraded with a micro SD express card, but you will have to use an express card as the standard SD micro cards will no longer work in the Switch 2. You can also transfer your save data from your old Nintendo Switches and games using your Nintendo login. The brand new dock provides 4K and HDR support and has a better fan for cooling. And finally, feature DLSS and ray tracing. Compatible Switch games will be able to be played on the Switch 2 as well as your digital library, with all of the new Switch 2 games being now red.
Red. Red.
There will be a new Pro controller that has two extra buttons on the back that you can program to whatever function you want it to do. And finally, after many years, Nintendo is introducing Game Chat.
It's been 84 years.
Yes, I know. Something that used to be on the PS2 and Xbox Online in 2001 has finally made it to Nintendo in this year of our Lord Savior, 2025. It's insane to think it took them 3 console generations to introduce something as simple as Game Chat, but Nintendo is going to Nintendo. Next was the announcement of the Nintendo Switch camera, which is essentially just your standard webcam that will be used in certain games. It's novel, it's Nintendo, there's not much else to say. Next, Nintendo's game streaming. I am so happy they kept this in and didn't try to sugarcoat how ass the online sharing capability is. It looks so jagged and pixelated when you have 4 different screens playing at the bottom of yours, and I couldn't help but laugh. Fair play for being very open and honest about the quality of this at the bottom, and I'm sure some people will appreciate it. Although, I wish you were a bit more open about other things in the Direct, Nintendo. Game share. Not only can you stream your games, you can also share your games as well now. This was shown last week at Nintendo Direct, but I'll expand on it here. Now, one person in the room only needs to own the game to play it in co-op mode, which is very cool from Nintendo, as this basically means that you can go into a room with a copy of New Super Mario Bros., and even though your friends don't have it, if they have Switches, you can host it and then they can play 4-player co-op. That's all the details and features of the Nintendo Switch 2 is looking good. I think this is a very solid iteration on the Switch, and it does feel like a console that is coming out in 2025. But let's move into the real reason we want this new console. That's right, the games. And this game is how you start Direct. Mario Kart World is looking like well, Mario Kart, and I legitimately couldn't be happy about that fact. New stuff for the games include 24 players, now in the same race, which I can only imagine being insanely chaotic and fun. It'll offer a new free roam mode that will offer collectible outfits, and also online co-op so you can hang out with each other in this vast world, with a little photo mode so you can take some lovely photos. A new elimination mode, that is this Grand Prix where basically if you don't make it by a certain amount of players at the end of the race, you're just knocked out. It goes from 24, 16, 8, you get the idea. And finally, obviously there's a whole bunch of new carts, a load of new items including an ice flower, the Hammer Bros hammer, and a golden shell, and what seems to be 8 Grand Prix, each with its own 4 courses. So this looks personally amazing from what I've seen, and from that Nintendo Treehouse, we also saw it had 84 characters. One of the new standouts that everyone has been talking about is obviously the cow from Moo Moo Meadows, which is just
Nice.
I can't really say anymore. It's Mario Kart. It looks like so much fun. It's the launch title that will sell those Switches. Well done, Nintendo. So, after the amazing Mario Kart world, we were shown the tech demo game, which comes with every other console. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. And this will show off the new Switch system and show you how the new console works, what the Joy-Cons can do, what the mouse control is like, etc, etc. And yeah, it's a cute little tech demo that will be a great way to learn about the console for free. I don't see anything wrong with that. Oh, God. The Nintendo elephant is here. Can you please just wait until the end of the video? We'll discuss you later, okay? You can come back into the room later. All right. Thanks. Okay. Bye. Anyway, next, we get a load of announcements that some Switch games will be repackaged as Switch 2 editions that would offer some bonuses from the original game. The first up was the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree. I managed to play this when it first came out, thanks to being a +1 at the launch event, thanks Gang Tiggy, and I can comfortably say this is one of the best Mario parties they've ever made, with some really fun boards and minigames. The Switch 2 edition comes bundled with a few new TV modes that offer up some nice gimmicks like having your face featured in the minigames, or the camera being used for minigames as well. And this uses also the new mouse feature that looks like it's going to be incorporated into the minigames, and also an entire new mode of you being on a roller coaster. It's a cool little upgrade, and if you haven't got the game originally, I recommend getting this when it releases on 24th of July 2025. Next, we had the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. These upgrades will offer enhanced resolution and frame rates, as well as a new smartphone feature for the Nintendo app, which is called Zelda Notes. It's essentially a GPS for collectibles. That, and you can also share the Tears of the Kingdom creations to other people, meaning you can finally share your scrotum schematics with your buddies, you sick people.
That one hurt my marble sack.
I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't seem that much of an upgrade, and again, we'll discuss that elephant later, but this upgraded version will be available at the same day as the Switch launches on June 5th, 2025. Next is Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the Kirby and the Forgotten Land, with a new DLC included called Star Cross World. I didn't manage to play this on Switch when it came out, but I know a lot of people did, and it is still cute to me that Kirby can suck up anything, become a car, a vending machine, and in this newest trailer, it seems they can become a spring as well. I've not played it personally, but I might finally pick it up on the Switch 2 edition with that extra campaign, and that will also be launching on June 5th, same day. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Switch 2 edition. So for this Switch 2 version, you can now use the new Joy-Con mouse feature to make shooting a lot smoother. Plus, it will offer 4K 60 frames per second HDR and 1080p 120 frames per second HDR in TV mode. No other benefits have been listed as of yet, but to me, this looks like what Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was when the Wii U came out. No concrete release date yet, but it's still be coming out this year in 2025. Finally, of the Switch 2 editions, we've got Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 edition. This is the third time this game has been shown off in 34 days. The Switch 2 edition of Pokemon Legends ZA will feature enhanced resolution and frame rate, so maybe it won't look like this on launch day. I'm still excited for Pokemon. It's still one of my favorite franchises, even though they really need to put some effort into making that game a lot better, but this will release sometime in winter 2025. Next, we got the look at one of our first Switch 2 games that will be coming out, made by Nintendo, Drag X Drive, which is essentially a wheelchair basketball game with ramps and dunking. And look, I had a look at the comments on the video, and I think a lot of people are being unnecessarily mean with this game. And I actually do think it looks a lot of fun. I mean, the fact you can dunk in a wheelchair is such a fun idea, and I reckon with a bit of customization and some flair when you're doing tricks, and maybe a bit of fanfare when you score shots, I could really see this working as a basketball game, as Nintendo are still to this day the only studio that made me love a basketball game, with the Nintendo DS version of Mario Slam Basketball, which I played so often for the combo dunks and the various characters, so I trust in Nintendo for this part. I will say, however, the motion of rubbing the Joy-Con controllers on the ground looks very, very awkward and not that engaging as a main gameplay loop. I get what they're going for to show off that mouse control, but this looks very awkward game to play, as you'll constantly need a flat surface in front of you and essentially can't play this game without a very specific environment. So I hope there's more details about a different control stream, but I saw it on Nintendo Live Treehouse today and everyone was playing with a mouse pad in front of a desk, which I think that's just really awkward. I hope it does well, but I don't know about this one, guys. It'll be releasing sometime in summer 2025. After this, Nintendo decided to give the mic to third-party studios. Starting off, we have the game that keeps on coming back with a vengeance. That's right, it's the Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. This version of the game does include the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, as well as a few new armor sets, weapons, and customization features for Torrent's appearance, which people have been asking for a while. The additional content mentioned for the Tarnished Edition will also be available on other platforms, don't worry about that, but whether it is free or not, we'll have to find that out when it comes out. This is slated for some time in 2025. Hades 2. The sequel to the critically and commercially beloved Hades launched last year on Steam in early access with very positive reviews. I've been wanting to check this out for a while now, as I played the original on the Switch, and I think the Switch 2 will be a wonderful platform to play the sequel on. It will launch the same day on June 5th, 2025. Street Fighter 6 with Fighter Pass 1 and 2. Street Fighter 6 is still one of the best fighting games, and it'll be launching on the Switch with its 2 DLC Fighter Passes that contain Rashid, Aki, Ed, Akuma, M. Bison, Terry, Mai, and Elena. Additionally, this will be a title that, although it has a physical edition, the cartridge is a little more than a piece of plastic, as it won't have the actual game on there, and it will only be used to essentially download a digital copy. That really does suck, but apparently it's only for a few games, and so far, none of the first party ones. This will also release on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 5th, 2025. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion. I generally don't have anything to say about this. It comes out on 5th September 2025. Moving on. Split Fiction. I mean, of course, Split Fiction is going to be coming to the Switch 2.
It was obvious!
This game, again, like its spiritual predecessor, It Takes Two, is one of the best co-op games out there. And Nintendo being the kings of couch co-op, this was a no-brainer from the start. This, again, will launch on the 5th of June, 2025. EA Sports were next. Who cares? Hogwarts Legacy. One of the most controversial launches in recent history has now finally made its way over to the Switch 2, this time with mouse controls enabled. I played this back when it released. It's very fun. It's a Harry Potter game. Fuck J.K. Rowling. It releases on June 5th. Next game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. With this trailer, we got a look at a couple of new remastered maps, as well as introducing a couple new skaters. And a look at the Skater Island, which has you grinding on a pirate ship. What is not to love? I recently picked up the 1 and 2 remaster and had a lot of fun with it. So I'm excited to see when this releases sometime in summer 2025. Plus, I can't wait to be doing ollies in the Krusty Krab if that SpongeBob level at the end will also be available at launch. Hit World of Assassination Signature Edition. This is one of my favorite games to come back to every so often and just fully complete one of the many levels. Just an incredibly fun game and truly feels like a toy sandbox for adults. All the ways you can eliminate your targets. A must buy for anyone who hasn't played the series, as this is one of the best games you can get for just pure unadulterated fun. This will also be launching on June 5th, 2025. In addition to that, IO Interactive also re-revealed Project 007. This will be coming out on the Switch 2 at some date, but honestly, as hype as I want to be for this game, we have literally zero details to go on, and still no release window. So as much as I want to really like this project, it's the same as Elder Scrolls 6 so far. It's just a fancy JPEG. So hopefully we get some actual gameplay soon, and an actual release date. Bravely Default Flying Fairy. A Switch console launching with a JRPG? What will those eggheads in Japan think of next?
So desu ka. So desu ka. So desu ka. So deska.
But yes, obviously this is an easy first day win for the Switch 2, as people really like the Bravely Default series as much as the name is so dumb. This will be releasing on June 5th, 2025. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. One of, if not the best Yakuza game, is coming to Switch 2 as a Director's Cut with brand new cutscenes and English voiceover, as well as an entire new co-op multiplayer mode, Red Light Raid, which lets you join forces with 3 friends and choose from 60 playable characters to take down hordes of enemies. If you haven't played a Yakuza game before, this is by far the best place to start. You can get into that life of crime when you get your Switch 2 on June 5th, 2025. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Another Hyrule Warriors game is next, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but do these characters kind of look boring? Like, you look at the Hyrule Warriors OG lineup with characters from all over the timelines, each with their own unique charm and whimsy, only for these new characters just to look a little grey and dull. Look, I can't be too harsh, as you can summon a literal mech in Zelda, which is just all kinds of fun. But yeah, the lineup of characters just isn't doing it for me. That may change when they reveal more in the coming months, but I'll keep an eye on this until it releases in winter 2025. Next, we got some updates about Nintendo Switch Online, including a new feature. Gamecube games are coming to the Switch Online. One of the best consoles ever made, my Nintendo Gamecube was one of my most precious possessions, as I spent many an hour playing games like Luigi's Mansion and Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I'm very excited for this. They've announced the initial lineup as Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. And in each of those games, you can customize control to better suit the new Switch 2 controller. Or if you don't want to play on the Switch 2 controller, you can return to the best controller ever made and buy a wireless GameCube controller that has been designed to work with the Switch 2. Not only that though, they also showed a few more titles that will be coming to this GameCube service, including Super Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo Plug Into Adventure, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Colosseum. Absolute stellar lineup. I can't wait for more release dates in the future. Next, a huge one for the indie fans out there, Deltarune 1+2+3+4. So obviously this is the first of the huge indie darling announcements that happened during the Direct, and what a trailer it is. The Toby Fox community is passionate to say the least.
Welcome to the underground.
How are your balls?
If you wanna fuck around,
Give us your balls.
And I think many of them were absolutely buzzing with the 3rd and 4th chapter being announced. This means there'll be only 3 chapters left of the epic 7-chapter saga, which I'm sure many Deltarunes fans are so excited that they are getting more content, but also will be gutted that they're already halfway through. I have a good friend of mine who is a huge Deltarune fan. I know she is absolutely buzzing with this, so very happy for her and the Deltarune fans out there. This will be releasing same day as the Switch, June 5th, 2025. Borderlands 4. God's sake, why do they keep showing Randy Pitchford? I swear he's like the Musk of the video game industry. He comes off as so awkward, and it seems like no one really likes him. Anyway, he's here, and he's telling us about Borderlands 4. That will also be coming to Switch 2 when it releases sometime 2025. Civilization 7 got announced next, and with the new mouse controls, this seems like another no-brainer to get this one onto the console, as Civ is truly one of the most PC Excel spreadsheet games that someone can get into, and the mouse control will be perfect for those PC nerds wanting it on the go. This will be coming out on June 5th, 2025. WWE2K and NBA2K will announce next. It's wrestling and basketball. I do not care for either of these things. Release date is still to be confirmed. I'm sure there are fans out there. Survival kids. Did you read Lord of the Flies and thought this would be a perfect whimsical video game? Well, your wish has finally been granted. This looks like a raft/grounded knockoff game, and I hope it does find its market, but personally, it ain't for me. This will also release June 5th, 2025. Enter the Gungeon 2. The highly anticipated sequel to the incredibly fun dungeon crawler Enter the Gungeon is back, and this time it's in 3D. As a big fan of dungeon crawlers in general and of the original Enter the Gungeon, I am incredibly excited for this game when it releases in the future. However, there was no date or even year confirmed as of yet, so we'll see this when it's good and ready. Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions. This game is the spiritual successor to the game Astroneer that released in 2016 to 100k very positive reviews on Steam. Looking to do what all sequels do, it seems to be going bigger with a plethora of new space cadets that seem to be sprawled throughout the trailer, all doing their own unique thing. Not many details on this, but with the backing of Devolver Digital, I'm sure it's going to be a really fun game with friends when it releases sometime in 2026. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. Cyberpunk 2077. What a comeback story. I think this game still lives in infamy after the launch in 2020, but since then, they have done a lot to improve the game, and this version of the game will be featuring the Phantom Liberty DLC. If you've not played Cyberpunk yet, this will hopefully be your first chance to engage in this amazing story and game. Hopefully stable and bugless when it launches on the same day as the Switch, June 5th, 2025. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. I mean, who didn't expect a Final Fantasy game not to appear on this console? And if it was going to be any Final Fantasy game, it had to be the Final Fantasy game. This has no release date as of yet, but will arrive sometime in the future. Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess. I played the demo for this last year and I really enjoyed it. But at the time, I just had too much of a backlog and I didn't end up buying it. But with it coming to Switch 2, I think it'll be a great game for the system and a great chance to finally play it when it releases on June 5th, 2025. Hollow Knight Silksong. My God, it's real.
God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait.
I am someone who regularly visits the Silksong subreddit the same way as someone who watches NASCAR to watch the car crashes, as that subreddit is a sight to behold in how mentally punished they are. However, with this measly 5-second clip confirming the game will be coming out sometime this year, you would have thought that Jesus Christ himself had returned and given everyone a free Switch 2 and a copy of the game, the way the subreddit was reacting. Well, finally got your wish, Silk posters, believers and deniers. Happy Silksong Day, whenever that is, sometime this year, 2025. The rest of these games were showed in quick succession, and I really don't have anything to add, so I'll quickly breeze past them to get back to the really good stuff. However, I do want to highlight some of the ones I am excited for: Shadow Labyrinth, Witchbrook, and Reanimal. But let's get on with it. Quickfire, let's go. Shadow Labyrinth will be releasing on 18th of July, 2025. Radu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soul's Army, will be releasing on 19th of June, 2025. Story Seasons will be releasing on 27th of August, 2025. Goodnight Universe will be releasing sometime in 2025. 2 Point Museum will be releasing sometime in 2025. Wild Heart S will be released on 25th of July, 2025. Puyo Puyo Tetris 25 will be releasing on June 5th, 2025. No Sleep for Konami Date from AI The Somnium Files, that will be releasing on 25th of July. Please, for the love of God, change that name. It's awful. Witchbook will be releasing in winter 2025. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma will be releasing on June 5th, 2025. Marvel Cosmic Invasion will be releasing in winter 2025. Star Wars Outlaws will be releasing sometime in 2025. Nobunaga's Ambition and Awakening Complete Edition will be releasing on June 5th, 2025. Fast Fusion, June 5th, 2025. Fortnite, June 2025. Arcade Archives, Ride Racer, June 5th, 2025. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, sometime in 2025. Tamagotchi Plaza, 27th of June, 2025. Human Fall Flat 2 with no date announced. And Reanimal, sometime in 2025. Whew! Now with this next one, good lord, this next one, it had me like, oh, okay, this looks good. Wait. Wait, no. Oh my, Nintendo did it? They made Bloodborne 2! Is that a train? Is that a weird moon? Is that a motherfucking steampunk Iron Man? Holy shit, this looks insane. Is that a big titty frog I see? The Dustbloods. This was one of my favorite announcements I have had in some time, probably since Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. That was, however, until more got revealed, and it turns out it's an 8-player PvPvE multiplayer game.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Listen, FromSoft, I get it. You are the big dogs right now in the industry, but what the hell is this? We're literally getting a multiplayer game in like 2 months' time that I've played. I can tell you, it's a lot of fun, but I don't want this to be the standard for the next 3 to 5 years. Miyazaki, baby, I fell in love with you when it was just me and you and the loathsome dung eater, but now you keep on inviting other people into our bed, like this eagle dude and this night guy and this witch lady. Okay, she can stay. The rest have to go. I do joke, but obviously this is From Software and I do trust them as a studio, and that trailer was amazing. And I love the idea of going back into another weird and wonderful world Miyazaki has created. But for me, it's just that annoying part of why not just make this a single player game. Anyway, they're talking more about it soon, so hopefully all my worries are alleviated, and this game will be releasing in some time 2026. Kirby Air Riders. So this is a sequel to the popular GameCube game that was made by Masahiro Sakurai and HAL Laboratory. You know, the kings that made Super Smash Bros. And this, like the Icarus series, is the team returning to its OG roots, and probably a nice break from constantly having to beg the right holders of various IPs to let them use their characters in Smash. I'm not completely blown away, but again, it's Sakurai, he knows what he's doing, and this will apparently be releasing sometime this year in 2025. Now, the final game to finish off this direct, can they nail the home run?
Monkey.
Donkey Kong Bananza. This is a new 3D Donkey Kong game, with the last true 3D Donkey Kong game being Donkey Kong 64 in 1999, 26 years ago. And this, damn, this absolutely looks like it was worth the wait. With its upbeat tunes, that monkey sound effect.
In these Banandium gem in there.
Destructible environments, nods to OG country games with the little side-scrolling sections, and overall, just a vibe, guys. Just so much fun. I don't know what else to say about this one, apart from when watching the gameplay, it gives me that warm feeling. Like when I first saw Super Mario Odyssey, Astro Bot, or any game of that ilk. And that feeling hasn't gone wrong for me yet, so I am very excited for when this releases on the 17th of July, 2025. And that was it for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. So in general, a very, very solid Direct. It came out swinging with Mario Kart, proceeded to show off a plethora of brand new games that do look to appeal to a wider audience, and other fans as... Oh. Okay. The elephant's got too big in the room, hasn't it? Well, I knew this was coming. Let's discuss the thing that low-key deflated this Direct. I am of course talking about the price tag. Throughout this entire Direct, no pricing was shown for either the console, accessories, or games, and that was for a good reason. The new console will cost you a whopping $450 in the United States, or $500 if you want the console with Mario Kart. This, by the way, is before the tariffs got announced last night, so I imagine there may even be more changes in the future. Equally, in the UK, they are priced as £396 and £430, and in Europe, it's been priced at €470 and €510 for the MK bundle. And even in Japan, it's weird. They're releasing a Japanese language system for about 50,000 yen, so about $333, while its multi-language system will run about 70,000 yen, or about $466. The accessories are no better, with the Switch 2 camera being priced at £50 or $50, and the GameCube controller being also priced at £59, and the Switch 2 Pro controller at £75 or $80. And on top of that, the extra storage would cost an additional £50 for the Mario Micro SD Express card. Just to put this together, if you wanted to get the Mario Kart bundle and just one extra Pro controller, it would cost a whopping £504.98. Not only does the price of the consoles and accessories seem terrible, but the games have suffered the same fate as well, as Mario Kart World is priced at a whopping £74.99 physically and £66.99 digitally in the UK, with the US and Europe being charged $80/€80 for the digital version and $90/€90 for the physical edition. This will not be the price for every game though. I do want to clarify that, as Donkey Kong Bananza is a little cheaper at around £6-7 physically and £59 digitally, and $70/€70 for the digital version and $80/€80 for the physical version. Nintendo's greed didn't stop there though, as the Switch 2 upgrades were spotted on the Japanese Nintendo Switch 2 websites, and this would cost you either 1,000 yen or 2,000 yen depending on the game, or around $10 to $20. Here in the UK, that would roughly translate to about £8 to £15 going off pure conversion, but as no one knows for certain until Nintendo provides official pricing, it could well be £10 or £20 to upgrade an 8-year-old game. As it stands, the Switch 2 versions of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and its sequel Tears of the Kingdom are the cheapest ones to upgrade, the 1,000 yen $10 mark. But a saving grace is if you do own either of the Zelda games and have the Nintendo Switch Online and expansion pack subscription, you will be able to play the respective Switch 2 versions for free. Free! However, these are the only games getting that upgrade with the service. Super Mario Party, Jamboree, and Kirby in the Forgotten Land, meanwhile, will cost 2,000 yen and $20 each to upgrade since they come with new content. This is all for me to say that I think the console, at least in the UK, is fairly well priced.
You what?
Yes, I know, boo me. Corporate slave, yada, 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 yada. I get it. But I did not expect this console to be cheaper than £350 minimum, and that would just be for the console alone. I wish it was £400 with Mario Kart World, but like everything right now, world is shit, and billion-dollar companies are gonna billion-dollar company. But I'm not in the camp that the console is priced too harsh, as it's not PS5 Pro levels yet. Because even right now, which is a UK provider and retailer, has actually been selling the Nintendo Switch 2 with a copy of Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Bananza for £480. This, to me, seems absolutely fair, and I think only a few people got this deal as it sold out instantly, and then they even raised the price to £500. But I think £480, that combo, absolutely makes sense. Deal. Great. I do want to move in, though, to the thing I am pissed off about. It's the pricing of their games. First off, you know it was going to be rough when the bloody tech demo was apparently going to be a paid downloadable. Like, what are you on about, Nintendo? Astrobot's Playroom got people to know what Astrobot is, and then guess what? They went ahead and made the best game of 2024 because of that. Same as, I don't know, let's think of an example. Oh yeah, the Wii Sports series, which is still one of the best-selling games of all time and spun off into a recognizable brand that still sells shit tons of units to this day and became a meme within itself.
Nice cock. Perfect.
I'm really hoping they just make this tech demo free, because I don't think anyone in their right mind will pay for this. But it doesn't just stop there. I mean, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild upgrade is literally a performance update you've added, and generally it's not even worth slightly charging for people. Like the other Switch 2 editions, it should have just been free. It should have been a free update. And the worst thing is, Nintendo, you know you should be doing this, because what wasn't announced in the Direct for some strange reason is that Switch games are getting free next-gen updates, including ARMS, Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain, Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics, Game Builder Garage, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World, plus Bowser's Fury, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, etc, etc. So why, Nintendo, are you charging for these other games? I mean, I do know why. It's testing the water to see how much people will take. This finally leads me to the actual price of the Switch 2 games, and they are egregious to say the least. They are priced way too high at the moment and shouldn't be more than £70 max. I also hate that adding essentially a tax for having it physical. It's very anti-consumer, it's very anti-art, as one day all those digital files might just not be accessible anymore, and that's just anti-fun. They're making a big deal about game share, and I think that is amazing, and I love how they've done it, but nothing beats just handing a copy over to your friend and letting them borrow it the old-fashioned way. Like any media, digital versions of stuff is great, but sometimes it sucks. NFTs suck. Artwork is great. MP3 downloads are boring. A vinyl is sick and offers a unique sound. Netflix can remove your favorite show forever. Blu-ray will be available wherever and whenever. Digital is great for numerous reasons, but physical copies shouldn't be punished wanting to preserve games. This is dumb and scummy, and it's obviously not gone over well, because if you look anywhere right now on the Reddit, you can see how many people were so excited about this console and then saw the price of these games. And everyone since then has been dogpiling on how much this absolutely destroyed their hype for the console, which is a real shame, because I will admit, you don't even have that many new first-party titles, but it was still great to see the stuff that is coming out. But then you just drop this price, and everyone is just losing their minds because of it. The live chat was literally just full of drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. I've never seen a community come together so much about something like this. It was insane. Well, That was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? So now that's all out the way, the Switch 2 does look great. I love a lot of the new features. I'm sold on getting one. What I'm not happy about is the lack of transparency about pricing in the Direct, knowing people would be turned off and the obvious greed being displayed by Nintendo. I hope this doesn't turn into a Wii U situation, as right now Nintendo have a history of an amazing bestseller console, then dud that no one bought, then an amazing console that revolutionized the industry, then a dud again, and then finally another amazing console that again changed the industry. If the timeline matches up, this could be another dud, but I hope it's not. Only time will tell, and we won't have to wait long, as June 5th, as of writing, is 63 days away. And I do look forward to one day playing my Switch 2, whenever that is. However, like everything I do on this channel, that is just my opinion. I want to know what you guys think of the whole Switch 2 Direct, what is the pricing, and everything else related to it in the comments down below. Will you be picking it up launch day, or will you wait until a price drop happens? Please let us know. Also, if you enjoyed this video, or found something out you didn't know, or just feel like being generous this lovely day, please drop a like and subscribe for more content. And I've actually added on a little bit extra in this video because I made a Nintendo Direct original video that came out the week beforehand, but I didn't have time to upload it because of a wedding, so I thought I would just slam it on the bottom here. So if you didn't manage to see that other Nintendo Direct that was before the Switch 2, you can watch that little bit of the video as well. Anyway, that's me. Thank you again so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, everyone. I will see you next time.
And now for something completely different.
The Nintendo Switch Direct has just happened, and it was lacking to say the least.
Sir, will you please stop staring at me? Where's the rest of you?
Okay. It was pretty meh and low-key bad, but with all shit, there was a couple of golden nuggets in there. So let's have a look at these games that were announced at the latest Switch Direct. First off, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake is coming out in 2025 from Square Enix. I mean, it's Dragon Quest, there's not much to say here. No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI The Somnium Files. This is essentially anime Blade Runner with Professor Layton thrown in, and that will arrive on July 25th, 2025. Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. Apparently this is actually quite popular with Atlas fans, but it looks like real-time battles with Persona and a bit of detective gameplay thrown in. That releases on June 19th, 2025. Shadow Labyrinth. This one actually looks really fun. It is literally just edgy Pac-Man in a Dark Souls Metroidvania game. I mean, what's not to love? That's from Bandai Namco and that'll be coming out this year. Patapon and Patapon 2 Remaster, the PlayStation classic of tribal tune warfare for kids, will be releasing on Switch on July 11th, 2025. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. It's the classic We Have Animal Crossings at Home, and that'll be releasing on August 27th, 2025. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, now with psychic powers and a costume change.
Of course. Fuck, it's genius. Why didn't I think of that?
It's still coming this year. It looks fun, but I'm sure we'll see more next week at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Disney Villains Curse Cafe. Have you ever wanted to serve drinks to Disney villains?
No.
That's available now. Witchbrook 2.5D pixel art Harry Potter cozy Stardew Valley-like game. This looks really fun, and also you can do it with 4-player co-op. What's not to love? And that comes out holiday 2025 by Chucklefish. The Eternal Life of Goldman. That releases sometime this spring in 2025, and it's a hand-drawn game looking a bit like Cuphead, and the gameplay looks more like DuckTales. So I think this actually looks pretty good. I'd check it out. Gradius Origins. Do you like Gradius? Well, here's all the Gradius games on an arcade collection. That's it. That comes out on August 7th. Rift of the Necro Dancer. This is already out on PC, but they showed off the Celeste music pack and the future Pizza Tower music pack that will be coming with it. The actual game launches today and the DLC at a further time. Tamagotchi Plaza. So, have you ever wanted to clean teeth cooperatively? Well, there you go.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Also, the guy kept on going,
Tamagotchi Plaza, Tamagotchi Connection Series. More Tamagotchi, classic Tamagotchi. When Tamagotchi...
Man, you're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
Tamagotchi. It's Tamagotchi. That'll be releasing on June 27th, 2025. Pokemon ZA. The Z to A Royale will be a fight club at night where you can lynch other people's Pokemon. It does actually look pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. This will be coming out sometime late 2025. Rhythm Heaven Groove. Another Rhythm Heaven Groove game is coming out, and this looks as charming as the others. No proper release date yet, but we do have a year of 2026. Next, an announcement of virtual game cards. So now you'll be able to download digital games and share them with other Switches and family and friends. This is actually probably one of the best announcements from the Nintendo Direct. I can see a lot of people actually utilizing this. Pretty cool, actually. Next, we had a quick fire round, and I'll go for these as quick as I can. We had High on Life coming out on May 6th, Star Overdrive coming out on May 10th, The Wandering Village coming out on 17th of June, King of Meat coming out 2025, Blue Lagoon, which will come out summer 2025, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, which, what is it with this Direct and weird names? Anyway, this is coming out 21st of May 2025. Going back to the main releases, we got Sega Frontier 2 Remaster, that's available today. Another classic JRPG getting remastered like the 20 million others that have come on the Switch recently. Monument Valley 1 and 2, it's a puzzle geometry game. It looks fun and quaint, and that comes out on April 15th. And then a third entry in the series coming out in summer 2025. Everybody Golf Hot Shots. It's golf, but everyone's doing it. That comes out 2025. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. So this is a side-scroll beat-em-up with a variety of Marvel characters like Spider-Man, Venom, Nova, Captain America, etc. And that'll be coming out holiday 2025. And the final game announcement of the day, Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Yes, I can't believe they ended it on this. I don't know what Nintendo is thinking and what they're smoking over there, but I know there are some insane Tomodachi Life fans out there who are buzzing about this. And to be fair, the ending gag did actually make me giggle.
You called?
This is slated for sometime release in 2026. And the final thing that was announced for the Direct was the Nintendo Today app. Yay! Another app on your phone which just sends Nintendo news updates right next to my Alarmo and my Pokemon sleeping app. Thanks, Nintendo! Overall, this was an incredibly weak presentation, and I hope they were just getting these announcements out of the way so they can really wow us with the brand new Nintendo Switch 2 Direct next week. But we will see. The Direct gets an overall 3 out of 10. What do you guys think? Do you think the Direct was pretty good? Let me know in the comments down below, and drop a like and subscribe on the video for more content.